All right. And where are we at? Okay. But the equations, here's the whole idea. It's a balance. Like two sides are balanced. And that's why we have the equal sign. And if you take something off of one side, it's going to tip. So if you take something off one side, you got to take something off the other side to keep the balance. If you add something to one side, then it becomes heavier, so you have to add the same thing to the other side. So that's the whole point of an equation. Now what we're going to do today, and I'll be honest with you, this is pretty straightforward. It's more on how we need you to write things down. Not necessarily getting the answer, because mostly you'll be able to look at it and get the answer. That's not the point. It's like how we set things up for later on when we have multiple steps in a problem. But just kind of for the understanding part, how many squares are equal to one red triangle? Okay, Christian?
2 squares.
2. And here's one way I do this is like you can figure this out by like if I took one square off, I got to take one square off. If I take one square off, I got to take another square off. I'm left with one pink triangle equals 2 squares. Okay, so that should make sense, hopefully. All right, how many green circles are equal to one purple? Right triangle. Okay. Yes. 3. You got 3. So yep. If I take out 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Whoops. Let me take out this one here. Here. So yes, 3. So I agree with that. And just take a look at this last one. Just take a look at this last one. For that one. All right, let's begin with Bailey.
32.
So you say 2 circles. All right, let's take a look. So I can take out, if I take out this circle, I got to take out this circle. And if I take out this star, I got to take out this star. So 1 star equals 2 circles. Yep. So that's kind of the idea. Now we don't deal with stars and circles and triangles and equations. We deal with numbers and x's and y and variables. But that's the basic idea. All right, we're going to solve one-step equations just by adding or subtracting. All right. Now, x plus 5 equals 12. Just make sure you understand what this means. What does x have to equal? What plus 5 equals 12? This is A, B, C, or D. Which one of those answers has to work? Okay, Connor?
C.
C. You know 7 plus 5 is 12, right? All right, I know that. Now we're going to go over, all right, how do we find that algebraically? So a couple things here are, fill this in on your sheet, on your notes. An equation is a mathematical statement that 2 expressions are equal. That's where we get that balance from. The left side is balanced with the right side.
The equation has an equal sign. It has an equal sign. The 2 sides hold the same value.
The solution of an equation is a value of the variable that makes it true. Okay, so we're going to have equations. We haven't had those yet. We haven't had equal signs. We found out what things simplified to, but we haven't had an equal sign to. Okay. I don't care if you know the answer. You need to get down these steps. That's the main thing for this one here. All right, solve the following equations. Now, it'll say check your answers. We'll go over how to do that. We're not going to check all. All right. That one's written down for you. I want you to do through the equal sign, draw a line down like I have, a vertical line. When we first start doing this, is what we're going to do, to separate the left side from the right side. Anything I do on the left side, I got to do on the right side to keep things balanced. Well, you may know the answer, but our whole goal is to get y by itself. Get it by itself. That means anything that's on the same side, you've got to move or cancel out or to 0. So do you remember what we do in this situation? Huh?
Take the number and then look at the sign in front of it, and then you make it the opposite, and then do it to both sides.
All right, yes, you take it as a -8. You want to do the opposite because that will basically cancel it out. So if it's a -8, you put a +8 right here. Now, anything I do on the left side, on that left side of that line, you got to do the exact same thing on the other side. So you put a +8 on the other side.
Because I say this every year, develop good habits right now at the beginning. All right. try to do things our way. Okay, because spoiler alert, Mr. Delap and Mr. Slur, we're better at Algebra 1 than you guys are. Okay? Not much, but a little bit better. Do it our way right now. And then when you get really, really, really good at it, then you can do it your way. Okay? We're not going to have an issue with that. But right now, follow the steps, take it one step at a time, and do it our way.
So he's exactly right. So today is not about finding the answer. Today is about how you write things down. Now here's why that works. As Anand said, you do the opposite, because -8 plus 8 adds up to 0. And so what is left on that left-hand side? It is just y is the only thing left. And I can put it over here close to that line. That's okay, because that's a 0. You don't need to put the 0 down. And then what's 12 plus 8? 12 plus 8 is 20, right? Even I know that. 12 plus 8 is 20.
We know you guys can do that. We're not insulting your intelligence there. What I mean by doing it our way, we want you to do it our way because later we're gonna make this stuff more complex. Okay? We're gonna add other steps to it. And by showing you our way, how to do it, it just keeps everything organized, and ultimately it's gonna make more sense to you.
All right, so number 2. And for all of these, get in this habit for the beginning. Put a line down the middle so it separates these two halves. You got the left half, the right half. Anything that goes down on the left half has to go down on the right half, and vice versa. All right, so we got to do the opposite. We got to do that m by itself. So so it says plus 5. I subtract 5. I subtract 5, and then draw a line. And this is really important. And I didn't say it in the last one. Whenever you do that step, you draw a line, a full line underneath. Because what that is, that's like your old addition and subtraction kind of tells you that's what you're going to do. It says I'm adding or subtracting. And so that gives me 0. 13 minus 5 is 8. Remember how you did, like, I don't know, 216 plus 832? You would draw that line underneath because you're adding or subtracting. We're doing that same thing. That line means the same thing. So it does have a meaning. All right, now the last one we didn't check underneath it. Here's what I want you to do. These aren't that difficult. We're going to get the more difficult ones, so you should be able to mentally check it. But I want to show you just what you need to do. You write down the original problem for the check, and you take whatever your answer is, and you plug it into the M. And then you really don't move anything from one side to the other. You just simplify each side and make sure they match up. So if I take 8 plus 5, do I get 13 on that left-hand side? I do. Do I have 13 on the right-hand side? I do. So that's how you check it. You just plug it in and you just simplify each side. Okay. All right, here's your third one. Draw that line where the equal sign is. All right, what's the variable? Allie, the variable is a what? What letter is it? T. All right, what do you think we do, Allie? In this case.
Do the same thing.
Which would be what? Tell me what step would I do? What do you think?
Subtract 5 from both sides.
Good, you got to move the 5 because the 5 is on the same side as the T. So you subtract 5 and that plus goes with the 5. All right, now what is 1 minus 5? Remember, Josh? -4. You got to make sure you write that down as a -4. -4 equals T. Now, in the end, we always want to write our answer with the variable first. We don't want to say -4 equals T. That really doesn't make a lot of sense. We always say T equals. So just flip it around. T equals -4. T equals -4. All right, now this one doesn't look as nice because you throw some fractions out there. Hey, now this one, you probably don't absolutely need this, but you got your calculator. You're allowed to use that. Allowed to type it in. But I'm hoping for the most part you can get this on your own. Preston, what do you think I need to do here?
Oh, you need to subtract 1/5 on the left from 4/5 on the right.
1/5 on each side. Excellent. That makes that a 0, and that's an x equals 4/5 minus 1/5. You remember old fraction work? That's going to give us 3/5. You just take 4 minus 1 is 3/5. Okay, so that should be our answer. So you already have the x by itself, so we're good there. All right, those two, I want you to try them on your own, and I want you to check one of them. I want you to check one of them. Okay.
Okay, I don't think you have the assignment published.
No, I don't. I'll publish it. It'll be on the last slide,
Right,
but I'll publish it when I
okay.
get back.
Gotcha.
And then just do this week.
Okay.
All right, let me see what you got. All right, no, that's number 5. That's not like 5.8.
Oh.
Yeah, that's number.
Change the,
Right there, when you do the minus symbol, you gotta write on both sides.
okay,
Right
on number 6,
Draw the line underneath that. Okay.
you guys have a subtraction sign here between the 24 and 50. Make that an equals.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, make that equals 50. All right, again, we're just looking for, now draw that line underneath. No, yep, I need to do that. Anytime you add or subtract it with both sides. All right, now, we're gonna put that line, you need to draw that line underneath. Everywhere. All right. Okay, even if you get it right, so make that equals 50. Okay. All right. All right, draw that line underneath. We'll make that. We got it. Yep, there it is. Okay, all right. I'm gonna take them. All right, I want you to check one of them. So check this one.
Wherever the
That
variable is,
answer.
this is the side on the side.
Do it over on the side. Okay.
You get a positive 8 here.
All right, technically that's number 5, that's not 5.8. Then we'll take that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's really just 8 plus M. Okay, sorry about that. Okay.
Number 6.
Yes. All right, like that should be an equal sign. That doesn't look right. Yep. All right, now we'll take that. Oh, okay, that looks like
Negative 4. Change this to the equal sign.
Alright.
Here.
Yeah. Let's say 12.
I need to do something. I add 4 to both
Okay.
sides.
Now, you gotta do 4 equals 50.
Oh my gosh, I could do show them my room.
I need to get rid of
The chair, it's like miniature, it's like American Girl. You're the one, the fun
Okay. Good. All right, as you take a look at this, number 5, Zachary, what do I need to do?
First, you need to subtract 8 from both sides.
Okay, that's a positive 8, so you subtract 8. Now, here's the biggest thing, and we are gonna make you do this, is when you do that minus 8, I need this line underneath. It separates, it tells me you're doing that in steps. So that's probably the biggest, it's probably told about 5 or 6, you've gotta draw that line underneath there. Okay, it's not an option right now. Okay, not an option. Jalen, what'd you get for the next step?
N equals -12.
M equals -12. Now, you can make a mistake, I can make a mistake, you wanna check it. Now, I only had told you to check one, but I'm gonna check them both, just because I want you to see this. You do 8 plus M equals -4. You take M and replace it with -12. Now, I don't need to do anything to that right-hand side, all I need to do, and now don't automatically assume that it's gonna match up. Really actually check it. So 8 plus negative 12, if you type it in your calculator, it does equal -4, so it does work. Now, like I said, I screwed up here. I confused some of you on this next one. This is equals 50. That's an equal sign. Yeah. I think I didn't hit equals, it looks like a minus. So subtract 24, and x equals 50 minus 24 is 26. Now I'm going to check it. And I'm going to start with x plus 24 equals 50. And now plug in, what did we say the answer was? We said the answer was 26. And so that's 50. And so it does work. Don't assume though. Don't assume. Okay, so be careful. Again, we've talked about this over and over. The idea is like, at this, I really don't care what the answer is, somewhat, but I'm more concerned with exactly how you show your steps. Yeah?
Saying like if I have a test on this, do we have to do the check after we're done too?
If I tell you to, I might tell you to do the check for 3 of them.
Okay.
I might tell you. Now, here's what the check does. It tells you whether you're right or wrong.
Right.
So if you're concerned, like, hey, I'm not sure if I got this, you check it, and then you can figure out whether you're right or wrong. Okay? Now, we lead in some different things here. All right. Good. Okay. Okay. And then I will see you guys tomorrow.
All right, you guys have all this written down on your thing. Okay. It says over 20 years, the population of the town has decreased by 275 people to a population of 850. Write and solve an equation to find the original population. When you guys are taking these word problems and turning it into an equation, I promise you right now, it's going to be darn near impossible to read it once and then be like, all right, I got the equation, no problem. Okay? You're not doing yourself any favors by not rereading it, okay? Because you got to go in and find what you want. Zach, you think you have it?
Yeah.
All right, hold on real fast with that. Okay? You have to go back and really look at what is the question. Because if you look at the question, that's going to tell you what your variable is going to be. So Zach, help me out. What is the question? What am I looking for?
Well, I mean, the first thing I will say is that you don't need the 20 years at all.
You're right, okay? It does give me too much information. I don't need that, okay? But tell me, what is the thing in words that I'm looking for?
Like the original population.
Yes, perfect. I'm looking for the original population. So that tells me that's my variable, okay? Your instructions or the question will tell you what your variable is. So you want to give me a variable?
What the variable would be like x.
X, perfect. Okay. Now we want to look back at some other keywords here. What's another keyword, Zach?
Decrease.
Decrease. What do you think that means?
Subtract.
Subtraction. Okay. And then I see my other things are the numbers. 850, 275. I have a variable and I have an operation. Okay. So that's all the information I need. I used the instructions. I used the question to find out the variable. So what do you think my equation is going to be, Zach?
Well, it could be x minus 275 equals 850.
X minus 275 equals 850. So what this says is that the original population, X, decreased by 275 minus 275, and it became 850. Okay? That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. So now I have my one-step equation, okay, and I just need to solve it. If I draw my line through my equal sign, Josh, how do I solve this? How do I go about solving this equation?
Alright, you add 275 to both sides.
Good. I'm going to add 275 to both sides. Okay. This is the important part. This is the part that I like to stress that Mr. Dila doesn't. The key here, you have think about this as a negative 275 plus 275. You need that to be 0. Okay? That's 0. So I can draw 0 there, or we're always just going to cancel it out. Okay? When I teach it to 7th graders, we draw a big fat 0 on there. Jalen,
That's gonna finish it.
finish it.
If X equals 1,125,
Equals what? Sorry?
1,125.
1,125, is that right? 1,125. Why does that not look right? 5, 12, 11. Good. All right. So my population, we had 1,125 people, 275 people left. We're down to 850. Questions about this? Okay. All right. When you're doing word problems, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be easy and there's like no thinking about it. Okay, that 1 time out of 10, you're going to have this. This phrase right here. Okay. This is the only one that trips people up. This is the only one that trips people up. 3 less than 10. Preston, what do you think 3 less than 10 is?
7.
It is 7. What's my equation that I have to do, or what's my expression that I would write?
3 minus 10.
Okay. So glad you said it that way, Preston. 3 minus 10. What's 3 minus 10, Preston?
7.
No, it's not.
I mean,
We just got done with a quiz on Friday that said 3 minus 10 is not 7. What's 3 minus 10?
negative 7.
Negative 7. But what's 3 less than 10?
3 less.
3 less than 10 is what?
7.
Is 7. So why does what you're telling me, the answer is not match this? You said 3 less than 7, or sorry, 3 less than 10 is 7. That's correct. But 3 minus 10 equals negative 7. That is incorrect. Like I said, when you guys see the phrase less than, it's the only one that requires a little bit of thinking. What do you think we need to do when I see the phrase less than, Brett?
You have to write the equation.
I have to write it differently, okay? And all that means is the number that comes second needs to go first, okay? So it becomes 10 minus 3, okay? So like if I ask Christian, what is 1 less than 5?
4.
It's 4. Mathematically, I get that by doing 4 minus 1, or 5 minus 1, right? We're going to show you guys more phrases. This is the only one where you have to reverse it, okay? If I have 3 less than 18, Grant, how do you think I write that?
18 minus 3.
18 minus 3. What's 18 minus 3? 15. All right, and then one more. 3 less than a number. Okay? 3 less than a number. Zach?
X minus 3.
Good. When I see a number, that means just any variable. X, Y, N, Z. Okay. If I call it X, X minus 3. Okay. Because we're going to see a phrase like this and phrases like this on word problems like this. You guys are going to need to know how to apply it. Okay. So 3 less than a number, I just need to answer with an expression. Okay. Notice there's no equal sign here, so I call it an expression. Questions about that? All right, this does not happen very often where you guys have time to do your homework, so we're going to get through a couple of these, and you should have a few minutes to get started on tonight's work. And I think you guys might have to fill in some here at the bottom. Galen?
Whenever you number 2.
It's going to be, I think, the next one here, right?
Oh, my bad.
So on the first one, we have 3 less than a number is equal to 7. So that key phrase, less than a number. All right, so that tells me I'm going to take this. It's going to go in front of this. What does the word is mean? It's right next to it. Is means equal. Okay. And then 7. So, somebody tell me, what's my equation going to be? Grant?
10 minus 3.
I'm not going to do 10 minus 3 right now. I want an equation. That means I'm going to have a variable somewhere.
X.
Good. X minus 3 equals 7. And then I need to solve that. So I'm going to draw my line, add 3 to both sides. That gives me 0. So my answer does become 10. Okay. But you need to be able to take this phrase and turn it into this, okay? On a quiz or a test, coming up with that equation will be part of it. You'll get scored on that as well. We're not just looking for a correct answer.
So you're solving one.
All right, next one. The sum of a number and 9 is 16. The sum of a number and 9 is 16. Who thinks they know what my equation is going to be? Christian?
X plus 9 equals 16.
Okay, X. So a number and 9 equals 16. Very good, Christian. Okay, there's the sum of a number and 9 there's my equal sign, 16. How do I solve that, Christian?
Put a line through the equal sign minus 9 on each side.
16 minus 9 is?
7.
Okay, 7. Very good. So essentially, like Mr. Diaz was saying earlier when we're checking stuff, essentially what this says is the sum of 7 and 9 is 16. Okay, pay attention to this. Your homework tonight, page 80 to 82, 21 to 24, 29 to 32, 41 to 44, 51 to 54. Hey, you have to show your steps. You have to write the original equation down. And you have to check 5 of them. Okay? So we're going to look for that when we look over your homework tomorrow. You're going to have to check 5 of them. Show us the steps to check them. Okay, you guys got 6 minutes to get started. That's probably enough to get done with half of these.